Hey, thanks for calling. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, it's Robert from Mobile. I can remember when Jalen Milroe threw those two picks. I thought about you and what you and I talked about last week.
Yep.
With, hey, those balls are hanging out there good ways on those out routes. A better team can pick that off.
Yep.
And the minute we saw the picks, I immediately thought of our conversation last week. And yeah, I mean, Jalen Milroe is a great guy. Well, I like him. His interviews are just top notch. But he's not the answer at quarterback for Alabama. We really was pulling for you. I thought maybe you got something delighted come on, and it was more me being biased, trying to, hope my belief he could probably do it. Then I saw enough evidence that he could. I was like everybody else in the offseason, had the doubts that he could do it. Well, the doubts weren't in a vacuum. The doubts came from what we saw before. So, I mean, sorry, guy. I mean, the doubts are, we doubt what we see when we don't see consistency, and that's natural. But that's you should. So, when at the first game, okay, you leave some of the doubts. Okay, yeah, there may be something there, but we ignore the competition. Although you and I noted that, hey, dude, if you don't clean those passes like that up against better competition, it's going to get picked. And well, sure enough, it did. He didn't clean it up. They didn't look at film, or like some of y'all other callers said, the processing just doesn't seem to be there as far as being able to see what the defense is doing and fool the defense instead of them fool you. Okay, one time they do it to you, fine, but you allow it to happen again. And it goes back to what we saw last season with the interceptions. You just can't have as many interceptions as you do touchdowns. It's not going to cut it, especially when you start playing better competition, which is where we are with it. It's Nick, and I saw Nick Saban interview that he said he thought about it. Of course, you're going to think about trying another quarterback under the circumstances. Mm-hmm. But but after that last touchdown, okay, that made him back off. Well, okay, yeah. But yeah, it's really time to give some of the other quarterbacks a real chance in this next game. And one of them, the other ones really should start. And start the next game and give them a real solid chance to compete. I don't think Nick Saban gave them that in the offseason. Mm-hmm. He'll go what he's more familiar with. That makes sense. And the other guys didn't overwhelm him to the point to where, okay, yeah, this guy's just so good I can't keep him on the bench. Maybe we need to see a little bit more of the other players. The defense also, I think we saw a lot of the same problem we saw from last season. It's people are saying the doubts coming in the Alabama offseason has Nick Saban lost his fastball? Is Alabama losing it? Yeah, I mean, it looks like we have. I mean, it's just no question about it. We have. It's normal. I mean, it's what Nick Saban had us on before, a championship every other year. That was never reality. That was never real. That was once in a lifetime special thing to happen. And normal for college football is your team may win a championship every 5 or 10 years if they're really good. That's normal. And Alabama's come back down to what's normal. And, it was great when we had it, but these other teams are caught up. And I remember calling other shows in Tuscaloosa trying to tell them, hey, you guys really do want this expanded playoff. You're operating off the assumption that the way Alabama's playing now is going to always be the case. Mm-hmm. And when today announced that Texas and Oklahoma was coming into the SEC, I was like, I was thinking about how we're going to just roll down all over Texas. He said, you think Texas is coming here to be a bottom feeder? Mm-hmm. No. NIL and transfer portal has changed the game. Mm-hmm. You can buy players. I'm sorry, they're buying players, folks. We all know that. Mm-hmm. And you can get them to transfer. That's changed the game. It's turned into college football into a minor league NFL. Well, we might as well accept that fact. That being the case, like the NFL, you're going to get parity, and you're going to get a lot of, hey, yeah, we may not win this thing for another 3, 4, 5 years. Nick Saban may not win another championship before he leaves. Mm-hmm. That's just the reality of it. Now, hopefully we can right the ship to where we have a decent season. But right now, we cannot beat the Texas of the world, and we can't beat, I wouldn't bet on us beating Georgia unless we have some stark improvement, unless one of the other quarterbacks improve. But Milroe's a nice guy. It was great. I mean, I really liked his interview last weekend. But I don't think, he did himself a service by pursuing the quarterback route. I always thought about, man, you sure you didn't want to try tight end? if you want the NFL, all you got to do is work on those hands with your speed. You sure you didn't want to be a tight end? Because can he get it together? I mean, Jalen Hurts did it, but it seems kind of unlikely now. And we do need to give another quarterback a try. I wish it was something. I wish it was different, but it's just. I mean, right now you're not the answer. And if we want a decent season, we can't go off the sentimentalities. We got to go and who we like. We got to go off who gives us the best chance to win. It's fair. It's not only is it not. It's only fair to the team that you do that. So it's like Milroe or not, it's time to make a change.
Hey, Kyle, it's Kevin from Mobile.
Hey, thanks for calling in, Kevin. I appreciate it.
Yeah, well, everybody has their observations. I've heard a couple of them. Jalen Milroe is the worst starting quarterback Saban has had at Alabama. I don't know if y'all have picked up on that or not, but yeah, he is the worst starting quarterback that Saban has had at Alabama. Name me one that's worse than him.
Hey, Kyle, I'm Matt from Oklahoma.
Matt, thank you very much for calling in. I appreciate it.
I don't see why there shouldn't be a competition at the quarterback position. Now, I do understand, there were other players that didn't quite play as well, on the right side of that offensive line. But I do think we need to get, our other quarterbacks some valuable reps, not garbage reps against USF this weekend. And, just kind of see what the other guys have.
Man, who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Hey, man, this is Jay calling out of Atlanta. It was really frustrating for even Tommy Reeves because I don't know if you caught this, the picture with Tommy Reeves with the face palm when he was trying to figure out, he was on the phone with Milroe, and he had his head in his hands, man, trying to figure out, man, what else to do because really it makes me think with Milroe back when Jalen Hurts first started, where it was kind of that one read and then he take off running, that one read, take off running, one read, he was not going through his progressions. And just like the other caller was saying, you had Burton down wide open. You had 84 that was wide open several different times, man. And he really didn't take the chances because I think that first interception really shook him. And so from that point on, after that first interception, he was completely out of the picture. I don't know if we have any quarterback that's really actually prepared, man, to take on these kind of defensive challenges. I know it's going to take some time to get some reps and so forth, but I'm really not confident, Kyle, in that any of the quarterbacks that we have right now. I'm just being real.
Hey, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who I'm on the line with and where you calling in from? Hey, thanks for being patient. I appreciate you being patient in the call queue. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who I'm on the line with and where you calling in from?
This is Nathan, and I'm calling in from Hoover.
Nathan from Hoover. I appreciate the call in from Hoover. What's on your mind, man? Take it away.
Jalen Milroe, his play was so bad last night. I honestly think the whole game is his fault.
Mm-hmm.
Like you put your defense in terrible situation after terrible situation. I don't know, man. I don't understand what some people are looking at, but Jalen Milroe, if he's our starting quarterback, we go 8-4, 9-3.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody expects Bryce Young. Let's make that very clear. A game manager, I'll take Greg McElroy.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Milroe is terrible.
Hey, thank you very much for calling in. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
How you doing, Kyle? Good morning. This is Buck Wild Longhorn from Temple, Texas. Yes, sir. I think the Alabama fans are a little overreacting on Jalen Milroe, man. I think he kept y'all in this game. Of course, the defense definitely did keep y'all in this game, but this game would not have even been close because he pulled some heroics. He did. When he had time, he was making plays. I mean, the dude is ridiculously fast. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. Milroe put 24 on Texas. Y'all's Heisman put 20.
Yeah.
I mean, so I think y'all overreacting a little bit about Jalen Milroe. I think y'all got to give him some time. I think it was his third start. I mean, he's basically a freshman. I know I think he's a redshirt sophomore or something. But, I mean, as far as game time, though, he's basically a freshman.